Toaster tongs are so helpful, especially with English muffins. Once I finish my toast, we'll go down to the shop and make some. Hi, welcome to my shop. As you can see, I've made up several different of my toaster tongs. These are made out of spruce, these are made out of red cedar. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut some strips, and we're going to make them 3/4 of an inch wide by 1/8 of an inch thick on the table saw. Okay, now I got my belt sander set up with 120 grit sandpaper. I'm just going to sand them down a bit just to get rid of any saw marks. Now that I've lightly sanded them with 120 grit, I'm going to cut them into 8-inch lengths on my miter saw. Now that I have them cut to length, I'm going to have to make a 5-degree angle on the back side so the tongs will have their springiness. So I'm going to make a jig for my table saw, and I'm not going to explain the whole thing, but you'll just have to watch it.
Somebody always bring the law to you, or did he draw you by saying, hey, is that everything you need? How are you doing? How's your emotional health? How's your mental health? How can I pray for you? Do you need a hug? Did anybody make you cry recently? Like, care for my whole person, not just my sexuality. And that's what Keisha did. Keisha was able to see Jackie, the image bearer, and not just Jackie, the lesbian. And so that's why she was the only Christian that I wanted to call. And it felt like I was drawing me something else. So fill in the blank there with Keisha. What did she say that was compelling to you? It wasn't even anything she said. I think it was the freedom to confess, one, that God had been on me. Like, it's just my convictions were getting weightier and weightier and heavier to the point that I was continually being reminded that I was sinning against God and that God loved me. And I could not shake it without how much that I spent, how much alcohol I drank. I was continually being reminded that God wanted me. And it felt like he would leave me alone. And so I called Keisha and I said, hey, so I said, God wants me to be a Christian. I really want to be a Christian. And I just won't stop. I just won't go away. And she was like, you know what? She was like, for a long time I beat myself up when you told me that you were lesbian, because I thought that I didn't do enough, that I didn't pray for you enough, that I didn't read enough Bible with you. But I prayed for you, and God told me, hey, Keisha, I love her more than you do. Keep showing me that you don't realize how much you need him, but he's going to show you how much you need him. That's all she said. She didn't say come to church with me. She didn't say, read Galatians 5. She didn't say none of that. And I was like, okay, that makes no sense. Yeah, but black Christians, we get prophetic all the time. And so I think what happened is that God kind of...
As you can see, I have a 5-degree angle on here. That's just enough so I can safely put my piece on there and sand off just enough to join them, to glue them both together. One thing I forgot to mention is I put an X on the side that I beveled, so that when I glue them up like that instead of like that, because then you don't have as much of an opening here. So I use CA glue or crazy glue to glue them together. Make sure you glue the bevels together and not the other way around. I'm going to start working on this little piece now, and it's made to hold the tongs against the toaster. And this piece is 1/2 inch thick by 1 1/4 inches wide. I have my stacked dado set up now, so I can do this cut here. I have my stacked dado set up now, so I can do this cut. Now I'm going to round over these edges a bit, get rid of the saw marks on the belt sander. I've sanded them up to 220 grit, and now I'm going to cut them into 3.5 inch lengths. One thing I forgot to mention is I will make sure to cut out any defects, and on the edge where it's rough, I'll cut that off also. So I've sanded these flat on the ends on the disc sander, and now I'm going to shape these on the belt sander and disc sander. As you can see, some of them are not flush on the ends, and I'll round them off and make them all nice. As you can see, I'm ready now to put a finish coat on it. I use tung oil, but you can use walnut oil or you can use boiled linseed oil. I'll give a couple coats of that on my project, and then between coats I'll let it dry, and then I'll give it a fine buffing with some fine synthetic steel wool. And that's about it. So have fun.